company, but it's just something to pay the bills, man. I mean, I love music. I do music. Ram does music. So, obviously that's what we
Does
would
it
like.
matter to you if I, does it matter to you if I smoke weed?
No, no, no,
I assume
please.
not. I just
I
out of
I,
respect, I'm at least ask.
I
What'd you say?
He
wish
said
I
you
could just push it towards me.
Yeah, right. Like,
Blow up my direction.
yeah.
Ah, we ought to do this more often. It's the
I got
podcast.
you. Yeah. It's that's every time I'm on video. I'm just.
Oh man, I love doing it. It was funny because I saw. I'm sure you probably heard about it. Bruce Lee smoked a lot of weed.
No, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
No, not at
Oh
all.
yeah, he smoked a lot of weed, man.
Really?
Huh. You're are you oh
Was a guy,
oh
and
You can cut it off.
hold on. Oh,
Can you hear me, Deco?
I think you were
oh,
freezing.
was something happening?
Yeah, I think you were
Oh
Oh,
freezing.
I
yeah,
was freezing.
I think you were
Okay.
freezing up.
yeah. I think the reception was kind of going in and out.
And
Yeah.
he said, so he goes in the garage, and Bruce Lee's there, and he said, "Oh, hi, Bruce. I wanted to ask where's Brett." And Bruce Lee just went like he took a hit. He went, "Okay, Brandon's in the house." So he loved, oh, man.
That's
But
crazy. I never heard that before. That's awesome.
because Bruce Lee's known as a big superstar and a martial art great fighter, but a lot of things people don't realize is that he was more like a free spirit. And he would smoke. I heard he did cocaine. I heard he did a lot of different things, but never affected his training. So he would try to balance. And so he's a party, not a party guy, but he mostly did it for meditation, to feel good, relax, and for his mind, because he was so physically restless, that he needed to calm down. So the weed helped me get creative, introvert, for it. And but we have all these fixed images embedded in us, like if somebody are a loser, if they take drugs or if they sleep late, you get all these imprints, but not take drugs or you are what you are, and whatever makes you. Am I losing you?
Yeah, I think
I'm
the
listening.
Yeah, too.
I think
Oh,
the
there we go.
connection is I don't know what kind of
It's
connection you
bad.
got going on there.
I
Like
don't know. I just Zoom got it through the thing that you sent me on the email.
yeah, I mean you're coming through fine now. It was just being glitchy. I don't know if it's like the Wi-Fi or
It's because I'm far in San Miguel.
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's all good. We can keep going though.
Okay.
So did you ever have any kind of contact with Bruce Lee? A meeting or did you
No,
any person? Oh, okay.
no.
I was just curious about that. Okay.
But the funny thing, I'm not saying this to boast. I don't know if it's true, but a lady who's a spiritual psychic, and then I asked this other guy I was doing a work with that he does a lot of channeling too. So I had asked him the same question. He said yes. She said that Bruce Lee in a past life, Bruce Lee was my older brother, and he was my
Oh,
protector. Like,
Ain't working for him.
he reminds me of my older brother. Like he'd be my older brother. And so I wanted to imitate him like everybody else. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, it was going in and out, but got the
Okay.
gist of it, I think. Sorry,
Yeah,
man.
so she told me that, but I was not surprised because I always felt that me and very relatable, not specifically to Bruce, we're all different. But generally, you know how he is? He's got a, you don't know what he is, because he's mad one day, he's a happy, nice guy next moment. He's introverted, he's extroverted, he's restless, he's at peace. I mean, and people they like to put you in a box. Oh, this guy's a nice guy. No? Man, he was certain. And I've always been certain. So I've always been like, felt that, like we're having a conversation. And whenever I had conversations with people, I noticed a lot of times they'd be kind of like this. Yeah. Okay, yeah. In this mode, right? But after a couple minutes with me, they'd be cracking up. They'd be telling me about things, oh man, and I had the same kind of experience, and we'd be having a ball, and so I could do that with all different types of friends. I remember, and I loved them all. I had a Puerto Rican friend who looked like he was black because he had an afro, and he looked like Jabbar. So he said, yeah, a lot of black people think I'm black, so don't mess with me. And he's got a lot of friends like that. I go, that's. Then I have a friend, Rick, who's this big white guy who can't fight. He was afraid to fight, but he was funny as hell. And so they met each other. I was hanging out with one, the other guy came. And at first they were like this. Hey, how you doing? They had that. He told me later he was a white guy, and I didn't know if he was gonna have an attitude about me, right? He said, but after 5 minutes, Rick's cracking Gabriel up, and then he's cracking him up, and they're all having a ball. Having a ball. Shook hands. They were like, hey man, I really like this guy. He's great, and he's great too. See, this is what we really are. This is what we really are. The other one, it's a facade, and I never believed it. Never believed it.
What do you mean you never believed it? Like explain that.
I never believed that people were what they were expressing. Because they were always trying to be protective of themselves. So that, because people, they don't want to be judged. They got perceptions, they've had bad experiences, whatever. So they're all kind of trying to hide most of themselves until they get to know you, right? And I felt impatient like Bruce Lee. I didn't have time. Sometimes you only meet somebody at a bus stop for 5 minutes and you talk. So I felt within that 5 minutes, we're going to get to the bottom of this. We're going to really we're going to talk. We're going to communicate. And so I feel like that's what this world is going to. It's going in that area where the truth, that's what the podcasts are about, Zoom. That's what the pandemic was to get us isolated, because we got to get rid of that old world, an old way of thinking.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's like when Robert Kennedy died, and they said the white people came on this side of the train tracks to watch the train go by with its coffin, to see him for the last time. The black people from their neighborhood came on this side of the tracks. And for those moments, they were united. And the train, and after it passed, they looked at each other, turned around and walked home. And they said, we were that close. that
Right,
close
right,
to shaking
right.
hands.
Right,
Mm.
right. Yeah, I think it's
And
I think yeah, yeah. You go ahead, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't know you.
and now we're ready. I think now we're ready to close that gap, see? But man, I'll tell you, it's not a national thing. Closing that gap is in each one of us.
Right,
Only you
absolutely.
close your gap. Mhm.
Mm.
Right, right. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I
Sure.
Yeah.
feel that.
Speaking of the message you're talking about, there was a lot of positive message in The Last Dragon, which we know you from. Um, Me and Denko here, we had actually just watched the movie earlier for the first time in a long time. I was, a kid when it
Well,
came out.
he's speaking for himself. I watch it a
Yeah,
lot.
I'm speaking for myself. Yeah, I can only speak for myself. You got to speak for you. No, but I noticed the messages in that movie from
I'm
beginning to end.
really happy. I'm glad.
Oh,
I'm losing.
oh. Glenn, I think you were glitching out a little bit. I think it's definitely the connection of where
Yeah, 'cause
he is. Did he freeze altogether?
yeah, he's frozen.
Hmm.
We might have to try and.
Oh,
Oh, wait.
there you go. Ah, he's back. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. It was glitching out.
Yeah, went out for a good minute.
The Matrix.
I took my blue pill this morning, or whatever one. I forget which one it is.
The blue pill.
With my
I took
vitamin
both of
D
them.
and yeah,
I just
I love
took both of them.
it. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
neutral.
yeah. I hear that.
Yeah.
Um, no, I think before it froze, I was trying to. And I don't know what you had said back, but I was saying is that the messages throughout that movie are similar to the messages you're saying now, and like, and I thought that was interesting that the dialogue and the theme of the movie had these messages, and I didn't remember that from watching it before for myself. And so was that something that was purposeful? Do you know, and when you came on, was that something you noticed as well? And just explain. Is that what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's for the past 35 years, I have been on my inner journey. And these are all things that I realized for myself that I was holding back and I just didn't know. And it's all about self-knowledge. Like Bruce said,
Right.
every knowledge is self-knowledge. And was that how can you relate it to you? How does it affect you? How can it help you? And so I would go on the inner journey and I realized by I didn't know who I was. It's like I wanted to be an actor so much, but I'm a good imitator. I would imitate people.
Okay.
And for the last dragon, I was imitating a friend I knew at the time. And but when it came down to other auditions after the movie, I didn't know who I was. So I would see this script, the sides, and I don't know how to read this. So I would imitate people, Matt Dillon, whatever, to try to do it
Okay.
right.
Right.
And I didn't know who I was. How do I say it? Just like Bruce Lee said
Yeah.
about himself and Cato. He says, I was the only robot in the room when he was doing Cato. He says, the question to ask is, how would Bruce Lee deal with this situation at this moment? He didn't know. And that's the same thing I was going through. Glen Eaton, I don't know. I was acting like these other people, right?
Sure.
When it
Sure.
came to I realized that yourself, right? I may not have known myself, but I was being myself every day, just like you're being yourself. But because I didn't realize that, I was unaware of who I was. I was fine. I didn't know that. I was not like the people I admired. Bruce Lee is courageous, energetic,
Right.
dedicated. Right? I wasn't like that.
Right.
Roberto Duran. I love boxing. I want to be like Roberto Duran.
Yeah. So how could I ask you a question? Can I stop? Can I pause you there and ask you a question? What in terms of this journey and you saying this, what age did you start acting and what age did you start doing martial arts, may I ask?
Well, I never did martial arts. I was
Oh, I thought okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I thought you were
14 and I was imitating Bruce Lee. And we had people, we knew friends who did martial arts. And so they'd come over, we practice a little bit, but it was mostly for show, you know? And so I didn't really love martial arts. I didn't have a love for it.
right,
Every day, you know?
right.
And when I was 15 or 14, I remember a friend's brother wanted to box me. He needed a sparring partner that day. So I said, sure, I'll do it. And put on the gloves, and he was pretty strong. He was gonna tell me. We started at it, and I just did a move that I had saw in a Bruce Lee Jeet Kune Do, the Tao of Jeet Kune Do. And it was a boxing move. He said, go under and then come up with the right overhand right. So I did that. Boom, bam! End of the fight. Bloody nose. So every time I sparred, I'd watch Sugar Ray Leonard or Berto Duran, and I did. And when I sparred, I'd go to the gym. I did pretty good. I did pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you knocking people out like that, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Boxing was I had a natural thing for I just never dedicated myself. But I had a natural thing. I wanted to be a boxer way before the last round. And I just had a natural, I guess, natural ability to pick it up. But I'm in downtown LA one day, so I could find a manager to train me. And I was early, and I was the only one in the gym. There was this old black man sitting down right there, watching. Shadow boxing, doing like Ali, dancing and punching. And I thought he was gonna go, hey, I'll sign you up, And he looked at me, and he said, yeah, you're pretty good, but you know what? Go home. You won't get that pretty face all messed up. And I thought about it, I said, fuck, I didn't think about that. Boom! I'm gonna get hit again. And you never know, right? And so I realized,
like I didn't count like the getting hit.
No, I wanted to choreograph it. But
that's great.
So I went home and decided, I think I'm going to be an actor.
Okay.
And so boxing is something I still practice, and I'm hoping to incorporate that in film. Because they do all these martial arts, They've been doing that for 30 years. And they're great. A lot of them, fast, they're great, they're dedicated. Donnie Yen, they're all incredible. So I thought, I can't compete with these guys, But as a boxer, I haven't seen that on film. Right. It's like watching Roberto Duran in a real street fight. And on film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go back and watch Duran, Sugar Ray, Hagler, Hearns, all those four. I go back and watch a lot of those fights still to this. Like within the last year, I've watched at least 2 or 3 of those fights. Between one or two of the four,
Yeah,
they all had battles,
man, I think they were the best that I like.
Yeah. That was the best era of boxing for sure.
Do you have a favorite boxer?
I mean, Muhammad Ali overall. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky originally, so
Mhm.
I can't help but say Muhammad Ali automatically. But
Muhammad Ali.
I mean, I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. You know,
You know what I would do? I was about 21. I was living alone, and I would just watch TV a lot and hang out with my friends. And when I was alone, I'd get, you might say, a bit bored and have the sugar lows and the salt low, and I'd feel a little depressed and tired. I watch watch it every day. Watch it like this. And he's talking, he's like, I am the greatest. I want your cameraman. I want your TV man. And he's doing his whole thing. And so I'd imitate him. All right, I'm gonna beat him like I'm a stepdaddy. And all this energy would start coming. I'd start dancing. Come on, sucker. You won't have it. My grandmother's faster than you are. I'm the greatest of all time. You know? And the energy would come.
yeah.
Like, woo! I was feeling good, you know? I keep watching the biography. I imitate him. And this is when I realized that just by acting it, pretending, your body doesn't know the difference.
You get a confidence. It's the same endorphins. You get a confidence from it. It's the same endorphins. That's a fact. That's scientifically true.
Yeah.
You're all of a sudden walking on air, where before I was, and it happens like that. So, and
like all them times I imagined I was Isaiah Thomas, you know?
What's that?
I said, like all those times I imagined I was Isaiah Thomas.
Yes. You know what I mean? That's what it's about.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. But another favorite boxer of mine is Roy Jones Jr. That's one of my favorite.
Oh.
I loved Roy Jones Jr. I just the whole in and out, you know, switching man, stance. Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah.
You know,
I liked Shane Mosley until the Mayweather fight. And then the Mayweather fight got me so upset because I feel like when I watched that fight that I was just so let down by it because I was huge Shane Mosley, and then like he was working the fuck out of Mayweather, and then all of a sudden the fourth round comes, and he didn't do anything anymore. It was done.
Yeah, rough one.
That's what licensed trainer.
Yep.
He said,
You can cut out where he said.
Is the one. You said that Mosley, he had the abilities. He was doing okay. It was his mind, not his body, that made him not go all the way, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all have talent. But up here, this is what separates the ones who are successful from the ones who are not the body and the face.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you think that I assume you're still acting? I know you're doing music. You do a lot of things, I believe, right? You are into music too as well, right?
Yeah. I just do that. I do the music for fun, for creative fun. And I'm in a comedy troupe now that we're gonna do a show here in San Miguel, May 1st, 3rd. So that's fun. I'm able to write some skits there and do some comedy.
Okay, but like is it when you say a comedy? I'm sorry, when you say a comedy troupe, is it improv? Is it stand up?
No,
Is it?
We do skits.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Awesome. Okay, yeah. I just recently in the last year and a half, 2 years, gotten open mic stand up. Started doing that myself. That's why I was curious. Is it what exactly it entailed? But that's awesome. That's that's doing.
Yeah, and I wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a connection there.
Can you still hear me? In the
No,
script, I play a cop, a good cop, and I do some fighting, right? And so I put the script down. I'm not going to try to sell it. What I'm going to do is I've been in training since then, and I've given myself a year, 2 years, whatever it takes, until I feel I'm good enough to be impressive. And then I'll do a reel and send that with the script. So yeah, that's my heart. What I'm really into right now is to make that movie and to be in condition, be in real good condition, so I can look good and effective.
okay. I think you might have cut out because I think I missed what movie you're talking about here. I think I missed something.
Script I wrote.
Okay, can
Okay.
you back up on that actually? Then I think you might have cut out a little bit. I'm sorry. Apologize.
Yeah, I wrote a script, finished it last year. And I play a character in there, a police officer, a good one who fights. And so I decided, okay, instead of trying to sell the script, I want to make sure that I'm in condition and everything. I look good. So I've given myself a long time to train and prepare for it.
Okay.
That way I can send the fighting reel, the acting reel, and the script.
So you're gonna be the main character as well.
Yes, yes.
Do you have like a date for when you're shooting, or do you have a name for it?
Oh,
Can you drop any of that to us?
Yeah. Mud.
I tried.
It's the story of my life. No.
It's a story. What'd
It's
you say?
called
It's
The
a story what?
Monster. No. I call it The Monster. It's a story
Okay.
about,
Okay.
and I play a cop. So it's kind of like a combination of a horror film with an action film. And it all ties together. So I believe in the script. I think it's pretty good, and I would love to do it. So
Yeah.
I just make sure I'm in the condition that I need to be.
Okay. Nice. So
Yeah.
what kind of workouts do you do? Is it just boxing, or what else do you do to get into that kind of shape?
Well, I'm trying something out. I just started my weight training now. I took 2 years. I could be wrong. I don't know. But what I've taken, I look at Bruce Lee and I go, you know what? Bruce Lee was so skinny, so thin, but muscle, right?
Right.
But come on, a guy that big, how can he be so strong?
Yeah. Did we lose?
Yeah.
I, man, hello?
Yeah, I think it's definitely something going on with
Yeah,
your
it's going in and out. I'm wondering if maybe we should reschedule and do this again because I feel like we're missing a lot of the conversation.
yeah, it's
Oh,
I think it's
blinking off.
yeah, it's definitely like a connection thing. I don't know where you're at, like in your actual place that you're at.
I don't think it'll matter because he's in San Miguel. I wouldn't imagine the connection is gonna be good either way.
Right, right.
Um, I mean, I'm good to keep going. I think it's every 2 minutes though. Every
Yeah,
minute.
yeah. So it's just, I mean, I'm fine with going too, but it's just,
I want to get a quality conversation with you too,
yeah,
though. I don't want to keep dropping in and out. Because this is a great conversation. But what'd you say?
I said, take another hit from me, please.
Yeah. No, I've enjoyed the conversation. I'm just saying, I don't know if it's doing the same cutting in and out for the viewer and for us. It's going in and out every couple minutes, and I just feel like I don't want to ruin it. I mean, and I'm just saying it. I don't, like I said, but we can kind of try to keep going, you know?
Mhm. But what I was saying, you said, what have I been doing to prepare training wise? And try this, okay? Tighten your body, right?
Yep.
Just tighten. Go, ready? Tighten every part of your upper body. Now breathe as you tighten. Now move, keeping it tight. You hear all those little cracks, all those little fibers, tendons, right? This is what Bruce Lee did. This is one of the things that got him so tight and strong. You're working your bones,
Yeah.
your ligaments,
Yeah.
right? Because when you get in a fight or any kind of sport and you get hit,
Yeah.
if it hits you, if it affects your tendons, bones, and in here underneath, it's finished. It's finished. But if you got it strong underneath, you're just going to get a bruise, and you can keep going. That's why Bruce Lee can get hit, boom, 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 and he can come right back really fast, kick him in the body. Heavyweights that were sparring with him, and he could take it. Couldn't hurt his ligaments, couldn't hurt his bones. He was solid as a fucking rock. He was like steel. So you tighten the body, and I just, more importantly than fighting, is for health.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
As we get older, our bones soften, they get weaker. And so when you injure yourself, it's not like when you're a kid, the next day you're okay, or the next week, you're injured for a while. So I think for all people, you know, look at the hands, arthritis. Why is it? It's a amount of energy that needs to move, and the people aren't moving them. So it starts to go like this, see? But if you move it, breathing. All right, you're working the inner body. When they say chi, they say the chi power. I don't think it's any spiritual or psychic thing like the chi power. I think it's the inner body they developed.
Yeah, like the qigong masters, like the qigong masters who, like the qigong masters who would harness energy from within, and you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I think it's not just a mental thing. I think it's a spiritual thing. It's a physical thing. If you feel your body in there, not your outer muscle, relax the outer muscle. You go there, and you inner body that's protecting the bones, that's protecting, you know. And if that's weak, then you can get injuries. But if that's strong, then you'll be more healthy. You'll be, and I strengthen my bones basically. And the other day I was running at the store, and there were steps, and I fell fast. I was running pretty fast, and I fell right on the steps. Ooh, bam! Hard, right on my hands. Back up to see if I'm okay, and I started running. Nothing. But before, I would have had pain here from the slam, pain over here, right? Nothing. So I think just tighten your body whenever you get a chance. Tighten your body, stomach, whatever. And you don't need weights. You don't need a gym. You don't need nothing. And you just see, I'll go like this. And you tighten it, see? Now you're, but when you box, you don't do that. You just relaxed, right? You just have that split moment, bam! See? So you don't tighten it. And I noticed Bruce Lee was always, you see the movies, push!
Absolutely, yeah.
So I started to just pretend and work that tightening the body. Whatever I'm doing, see, I'm going, hey, this is, feels really fucking good I can feel it.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's what I've been doing, and it helps my boxing.
What do you do for the mental? What do you do for the mind?
Helps my boxing.
The emotional? Like meditation wise or anything like that? What do you do for that?
Mind.
Like for the mind, yeah.
A heavy feeling or thought comes to me, I just say to myself, lighten up, lighten up. So I lighten up. Another 10 minutes later, a worry thought comes to me. Damn. Lighten up. So the word lighten up helps me more than meditation, because I didn't realize how many times a day heaviness would attack me.
Corrective thought. Yeah, I often go do that. I often do that myself and have to remind myself to do that. You know what I mean? I've talked about this with a few people. I was talking with a friend of mine, the very same thing. Like, I have to tell myself, like, she like, for instance, she said, "Hey, what are you doing today?" Or "What did you do today?" And I'm like, "I ain't really do shit." But that's not true. I wrote 2 songs. I did this, I did that. You know what I mean? Like, I did like 5 or 6 things, but just out of just straight habit, just to be like, you know, I ain't do nothing. But that's not celebrating my progress. That's not, you know what I mean? I always tell people the success is in the completion. But you know what I mean? And too many times, a lot of us do this automatically and don't even think about it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that
And
corrective thought is super important.
it plays a number on you, doesn't it? That it's like a person who has lived years going, I'm a loser, I feel this, and negative, right? But they do things. They do many things. And at the end of their life, they sit there and they're going on their deathbed. And they're going, you know what? I realize how many wonderful things I've done and how many wonderful people have shared and helped me out.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
But I'm dying out of misery, and I can't remember one reason why I was stressed out.
No, that, yeah, it's like money. They say you can't take it with you. You can't take your worries with you either.
Oh,
You know,
the only thing you can take with you is you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We leave the body, but we are not our body. We are, that's you. Without you, your body would just go and be gone within a few days. It'd be dead. But with you, you are, it's like we're used to it, so we don't appreciate it. It's hard to appreciate because we're used to it. That's me, you know. But to realize your thought processes, your soul, your love and compassion, your artistry, your creativeness, your individual qualities are unbelievable.
yeah.
Are unbelievable. And like when you take a heavy, if you ever take an acid trip, something that you're like going, whoa, you're really lost. You realize how much thought it takes to get from here to there.
Look, well, yeah. Look, psychedelics comes up on this damn show, and it's usually because of me. It's usually because of me. So I'm glad somebody else brought it up before me.
You're bringing back the 60s.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I've done acid, DMT, shrooms. I've done a lot of stuff, but it's always an exploration. Like DMT on purpose was for the exploration point of it, and I fucking explored. I tell you that much. But no, seriously, no, on a real level, like not on no party joking level. You know, I shot, on some real spiritual shit, for lack of better words. But so like so obviously you have two, I could assume.
Oh yeah. But
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm talking about? I didn't do much of it because I did it for self-exploration. And
that's how I do it these days. When I was young, it was party. These days, if I do it, it's very tiny amounts, and it's
right.
it's my own spiritual session. You know what I mean?
And it's like the Indians used to do with the with the peyote and the medicine man, they would take their trips and they would talk with the spirits. They would meet with the spirits.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were doing it to learn things, to grow. And so when I do a trip like that, it's not fun to do it just to have fun, go to a party and you're all tripping out. I like to be at home, and I like to try to decipher what the hell's going on. Yeah.
Yeah. So, or you know what's funny? It's either a mental what the hell's going on for me, or I throw on some jazz and like and do the very opposite and disconnect from all of what's going on.
Yes,
and
that's
and
what's
then
going
literally go within by just chilling. You know what I mean? Just sitting there within myself and letting that shit just go, just letting your brain go.
I'll give one
Both are
example.
beneficial. Both are beneficial.
Definitely, it's like take a mushroom trip. I'm sure they did
Right.
this in '66 when the Sgt. Pepper's album came out.
Right.
You know, I took Sgt. Pepper years ago. Picture with tangerine trees, I could feel and taste what he was. Are you still there?
Yeah, you were.
Am I off?
Yeah, you were.
Glitching.
That one, it was glitching a little bit on that.
Hello?
Yep. Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
good.
Yeah, you back.
Okay.
You back.
Yep.
Yeah.
But now can you hear me?
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
good.
And I was tripping out. I think mushrooms, and I was listening to Peppers, and I could taste and feel the colors that were emanating from the sound vibrations, right? So it sounds complicated when you explain it, right?
No,
When
it doesn't. Not to me, but I totally understand.
Oh, it's like
I think a lot of people listening will totally understand what you're saying too. We're good.
Yep. I'm sure we've all had those moments when you empty your mind somehow. It's all empty. You're not thinking about tomorrow, yesterday, worries, whatever, who you are. It's completely blank. And all of a sudden, every part of your body you're aware of, and it picks up, and you go, you know what? I know what this is all about. You have all the answers. Everything at that moment. It's like, God, it's so simple. I'll sum it up. It's all about love.
It really is.
Nobody-
100%. 100%. It really is that simple. Everything you just said is that simple. And then by ending with that, it's all about love. It really is. It comes down to once you do that, if you intentionally did that all the time, that's the answer that comes to you. If you really get down to the nitty gritty to solve everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just humanity, which falls under love. It's loyalty, which falls under love. It's respect, which falls under love. You know what I mean? It all falls under that. You know what I mean?
And you know what else falls under love? When you connect with the all, it's not knowledge that you're fascinated. It's the be
It's cutting out for me. It's cut up.
Yeah, true.
Communicate. You can't do just. You hear me?
It's been cutting out. I'm not sure who. Can you hear?
It cut out there. It was like freezing up. Definitely was. That's that San
What I'm
Miguel.
saying is you know, whatever it is that makes you feel good, that's your connection to the great source.
Boom.
It's not your knowledge. The source knows everything, right? A little child who feels good, has got the answer to life.
Absolutely. Yeah, at some
There
point
was
it gets blocked. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't know you were still. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead. What were you saying?
I was just saying at some point it gets blocked by just living in society, by the different things
Yes.
that it's almost like a third eye, for clichely, your third eye gets blocked. You know what I mean? Like, I feel lucky to have grown up with the parents I got that taught me how to understand all of that. You know what I mean? And
yes, yes.
you know what I mean? And so I kind of got a head start on that. But not everybody understands that kind of shit, you know?
No, they're working on it though.
No, people are awakening more and more. I think it's
Yeah.
becoming more mainstream to think of in that way.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah, they won't lock us up now. They would have 20 years ago.
I don't know. They still killing people though. I don't know. So,
I know. But I'll tell you
know.
something. The new world is already being created through all of us. We are the light bearers.
I agree with that. Yeah.
We're the ones who they persecuted in the past for looking up at the stars. We're the ones who questioned when they tortured and killed innocent people because of their religion. We're the ones who are going to be the leaders in all walks of life in the new world that we are creating through our minds and actions. So it's changing. It looks like it's standing still or it's the same. That's just what we see.
No, yeah, well, not
That's just what we see, right? It's changing.
No, it's I mean, it's happening lately in the last 5, 6, 10 years, very rapidly. It seems like even more so, but it's also been a buildup over time. But yeah,
Yeah.
a lot. It's changing a lot. I mean, it's people are waking up to a lot of different things, mentally, emotionally. Um, you know, I mean, just the masculine energy in the world becoming more compassionate to feminine energy in the world is a
Yes.
major step. It's a major step. Like that's crazy to me to watch over the last 20 years or so. You know what I mean? I've had a daughter in that time, but so it's interesting. I've raised a daughter she's about to be 19. So that's interesting to me to have watched. You know what I
Yes.
mean? That different thing in terms of society.
That's what the fusion of the gender problem right now is all about. I think we have to stop looking at that, well, this person's not this person. I think we have beauty. I think a lot of men are disgusted, and a lot of boys disgusted with how has been portrayed as this uncaring, cold-hearted, abuser. So any kid or adult man who says, no, I'm a woman, is stopped to say, you're not a woman. No, look at the fact that this guy is disgusted with how men have been treating women, children, and the planet itself, and animals. And I think that's one of the most beautiful, that people are so disgusted with the injustice that they want to change their gender. So looking at its inside, it's an awakening these people are telling us. So it's not a matter of physical. We are all, right? The physical vehicle, that's a different story, but I'm not talking about the vehicle. I'm talking about the mentality. And I think really the straight people are going to be hugging the gay people, hugging all like a going to wake up slowly and realize that, you know what, this is a bigger problem than just physical. And the solution is going to be through our character. Did it freeze again? Am I okay?
It's so we
Hello?
heard different parts of that whole of all of that, but it kind of like
Oh,
it kind of did like
And
it was doing the glitch in and out. But
to sum it up, the whole world is changing. The whole energies are changing. We are changing with it. We
I
are
gotta
riding
send
on
you
the
my
back of
song
it.
called "Life Is Changing."
What's that?
I have a song called "Life Is Changing." I gotta send you that video, maybe the link.
Yeah. It's a
But go ahead.
small world.
Yeah, yeah,
And,
yeah. No accident. But go ahead. But when you say the world is changing, continue on that if you could. I'm sorry.
beyond our comprehension, what's going on galactically, inner world, surface energies, spiritual, etheric, everything is going through a whole change. And we are on this plateau completely safe and protected from it because of the forces of love and light that have been protecting us all these years. They're making sure we make a smooth transition. So they don't want to panic us. But as we're going through all this, we are completely seems like, okay, we're doing okay. What could have happened will make this look like heaven. We could have been in nuclear war right now. We could have been under the ocean by earth changes. We could have been exploded by nuclear powers and laser.
I caught it.
There's a good
Sorry.
example. Nothing more.
I caught it. I got
That's
it.
That's your instincts.
Hey, everyone who watches this knows me, and I'm historically a klutz. I'm not embarrassed. Everyone who knows me knows I'm the worst klutz in the world, so this is not surprising. This is
This thing called
par for the course.
inner world.
Right when you were on this great speech.
yo, it was funny. It was funny. He just stopped and laughed at you. That was funny.
That was great.
It's funny because look, check this out. I was talking about this stuff. The most important thing is always in the now. Knowledge, this, that. Because I'm talking about all this stuff. And at that very moment, I saw your expression. The most important thing in the world at that moment was to make sure you get your cup. Make sure it doesn't fall, right?
Well, speaking of which, that's why you had to stop your conversation and laugh. It would have been. It's not like everybody didn't notice me. Like, oh fuck.
That was a real moment. That was a real moment.
I'm one of the realest people in the world. That's the way it works. It works like that. It just happens to work like that for me.
Got it on film. It's gonna be on sightings. I'm telling you. Unexplained sightings. This man, it was about 8:45 at the evening, and he had an actual real moment. We got it on film, Jim. They wouldn't believe us.
Oh,
I love it.
Slow-mo, you know what I mean?
Hey, speaking of which, what do you think about them telling us that UAPs and UFOs are just? You seem like you might be one that follows the topic, but I don't know, maybe not. But I do, and I'm just curious. What do you think about that?
I think he froze.
So
UFOs?
Now,
Oh,
now
UFOs?
you're good. Now you're good. It's good now. Yep.
very good.
Oh, maybe not.
It's gone beyond that. It's gone beyond that. It's not only UFOs.
Oh, right.
There's so much information out there about the names of each, with us we call the human race, right?
Right.
They got the Arcturians, they got the Palladians, they got so many, tons of different civilizations. and they name their powers, their character, their abilities.
Yeah, I've seen this stuff. I've seen stuff like this before. Yeah.
So it's gone beyond just seeing something flying in the sky and going, what is that? It's crazy. It's crazy. Sometimes you see a UFO, right? It disappears. That could have been from the future.
Yeah,
Coming-
according to time, right?
Yeah.
I've heard that theory too. The way time bends, you might be seeing something that was already had came through, or in the past or
Mhm.
future, or different
Could have
dimension
been
of time.
a long time ago.
Right,
they-
right.
Sometimes if you meet a certain race of galactics, you see the ship, depending on the look of the ship will tell you if that's their civilization from millions of years ago, which they could get maybe a little dangerous, or is that from the future, which they've evolved and they're peaceful. See? So it's gone beyond just seeing things in the sky. It's gone to
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That's an interesting concept. Remind me when I get off of here. I'm gonna send you that song for real. And a friend of ours, the guy that we had on the podcast, Dustin Shut Up. He has a podcast about UAP and UFO contact and sightings and being and all that. You should check it out. It's really good. And lately he's had some really good episodes. I've watched the last couple, 3.
Nice. Yeah,
Remind me to send you that link too if you're interested. Just he's
Yeah.
just a cool guy. It's a good podcast.
Yeah.
So what's next for you? Like what's coming up? But when you said you're doing the comedy troupe thing right now, what and the script you're working on, what other things you got going on?
Well, that's it right now.
Okay, those are taking up your time. Yeah.
Yeah, the preparations for the script. That's my main book every day that I do something.
And with the comedy troupe skits, are they prepared skits? Are you writing? Are you involved with the writing? Are they prepared skits like that?
Yes. And I've written a couple of them.
Okay.
And, so I'm looking forward to that. But it's just fun to work it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
Because you're always gonna do something.
Yeah, flex that comedy muscle over and over, basically. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. Who are some other people with you? Like, how many people were in the troupe? Or
there's the 3 of us. There's 2 ladies and myself. Oh, I'm sorry, 4 of us. The 3 ladies and myself.
Okay.
So it's a small group, and we play all these different characters.
Okay.
That's tight. That's what's up.
Cool. So are any of these going to be like on YouTube or any place we can find them like that, or
well, we
you guys
don't
do the recording?
I don't know yet, but I'm sure she's gonna do something with it. But I'm not too sure exactly yet.
Okay.
We're gonna play May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. We got 2 places lined up, and they're trying to decide which one to play at. So we're gonna be live there. And
Well, if you can get us some clips, we'll be glad to post them.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. I'll make sure I do that.
For sure.
Yeah, man.
For sure. Yeah. I don't know. We're at about an hour here. We usually do about an hour. I don't know if you guys want to keep talking. I always check it here. I always check with the person here to see where we're at. Got it.
Whatever. If there's any more questions you want to ask.
All right. So how can I? All right. I got one more. The last dragon question, then I won't ask any more about that. And it's just, I was a kid. I was a kid, and vanity was like the everything, right? Like every young boy was like, vanity was like so fine, and and you were kind of young in that picture. So like, was that like a thing? Like, where is it weird to be around vanity? Was that, she was a big star, you know what I mean? And did you get to meet Berry Gordy?
Oh yeah, I worked with him.
Oh wow, nice.
My
Okay,
sister,
all right.
my
This
sister,
I should have asked this before, actually.
oh no, you see, it's not my doing. My sister was going out with him. Then she ended up living with him, marrying him.
Okay.
And that's what, otherwise I wouldn't have been in The Last Dragon. It would let me in the door. But excuse me, Vanity. I didn't know who he was at that time, and
Really?
no, yeah, and I just stayed away from. I wasn't one to mingle with people, so I would just do my work and go home.
Ah, okay.
And Barry said, yeah, you have to look up to this Vanity, like she's your dream girl, right?
Right.
And and see, so just think of any dream girl and pretend that's Vanity. I mean, pretend Vanity is that person. Okay.
Who's you envision?
Well, then that day, they had me ride in the taxi with Vanity. So they're going to drop her off, they're going to drop me off, right? So we rode in the taxi together. And I'm sitting.
I'll pause. For any young people, there's no Uber back then, and this is New York City. I assume you had to get a cab or taxis, but
That's right.
Some people, you never know. Some people might.
We were in a taxi. You got to look that up.
Yeah.
Yellow cab.
Yellow cab.
Yeah. Right.
Anyway, we're sitting there, and then I go, she asked me who my favorite actor was. And I said, well, one of my favorites is Robert De Niro. And she said, oh, I went out with De Niro. And I said, you did? She said, oh yeah, he was a bore. He was? And she goes, yeah, we were eating dinner all night. He didn't say a word. He drops me off, he leaves. Then he calls me and leaves a message every day. And I didn't answer it. I was going, you went out with. From that moment on, every time I saw her, I was starstruck.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Oh.
Look at it.
Oh, we missed about the last 30 seconds there. Oh man. After you said you were starstruck, it cut out a little bit. But that was great.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Oh, froze again.
Yeah. It was an experience for me being in that picture, because I always wanted to go to New York, and being in New York alone, just walking around and seeing it, it was a dream come true for me. Couldn't believe it.
Where are you from originally?
I was California. I was born and raised.
Okay.
And I would have dreams about going to New York, and I'd be scared to death. You know, in my dream, I'm here in this big city. I'm going, oh my God, how am I going to get home? You know, but I was like, shit. I'd wake up and go, oh, just a dream.
What did you get paid back then for something like that? Did you have a per diem? Like, how that work?
Yeah, $12.50 a week. $12.50.
That's not bad. That's pretty good. That's really good for back then. Actually.
$950 each day I worked. Plus $950 each day I worked. Berry Gordy
was a per diem, yeah.
I just needed to be up there for probably no more than a month, if 2 weeks, to shoot my scenes.
That's pretty good because you're pretty young. It's pretty good back then in the 80s.
But what Berry Gordy did was he wrote more scenes for me. So I was supposed to only be in the opening. He wrote more scenes to the middle and to the end. So that way I can stay in New York and get paid $12.50 a week. And so he sent me up there. I was there for 6 months. Making that money. He did that favor.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's nice of him. He's really a nice.
I've heard that every story I ever hear about him. He seems like a nice guy.
He really is. I don't know how he is with other people. I'm not judging. I'm just saying, whenever with me, God, he's so nice.
Who's your favorite musical influences? You said you love music and you're into it for fun. Who are some of your influences or people that you love to listen to, or just give me like 3 to 5. I know it's a it's a
the Beatles. The Beatles. Elvis. And that's it. Everything else is different songs from different bands. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
Alright.
yeah, you know, like Casey and the Sunshine Band, Get Down Tonight. God, I can go on and on. Fleetwood Mac, Rush, on and on. There's one song here, one song there, two there.
Yeah, sure.
But the Beatles and Elvis Presley, for me.
All right. Well, how about this? We're gonna get to the last question that we always ask.
Oh.
Is that cool? That cool?
He's frozen right now.
All right, hold on. Let me see if we get it back here.
What is
there?
it?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So
You there? Oh, okay.
yeah, so we're gonna wrap wrap up. I'm gonna ask one last question that we usually ask towards the end of the podcast. And basically, what would you say to a young, aspiring actor, comedian, musician, boxer,
Artist
anybody
of any
that
kind, yeah.
an artist of any kind? What would you say to them? To try to get them in the right direction of where they want to go to get to, to reach their goals, reach their heights,
Like
reach
one
what they
piece of
want to do.
advice.
I think the best advice would have to be keep working your craft. Keep working your craft.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't give up. So, but they don't work their craft. You know?
Yep.
I've discovered that if you want to be a good boxer, if you want to be a good whatever, if you want to be better at what you do, there's always constant growth. You're always working at getting better. And what Shakespeare say? It's in the readiness. That is all. Not tomorrow. When will it come? Tomorrow, next year? That's not important. Will you be ready when it comes? And if you work your craft, God damn it, you're sure to be ready.
Yeah, I like that.
Right on.
I like that.
I like that a lot. Yeah. Readiness, the readiness. I like that.
Yeah, man.
Well, good to meet you, man. My name's Amram, real name. So good to meet you.
Yeah, this has been
Glen,
awesome.
Eaton.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Yeah. Appreciate everybody for watching. We usually get the comments, questions. Were there any questions in the comments or anything? Do you think we should grab one maybe?
There weren't really any questions. However, Toxic said that Glen was dropping jewels like the Taoism. He was also talking about the old school boxing, 15 rounds. Like, it's not really like that no more.
Yeah. Those are old school round, 15 round fights for something else, man.
Yeah.
Those are different.
That's a lot of endurance. That's crazy. That's a lot of endurance.
Yeah.
It was different.
Isn't
That was
it?
different time.
And that's what we have to do in whatever we want to do. That's why I work the craft. So we can go the full 15 rounds when we have to do it.
Yeah. Gladiator style.
Yeah.
All right. Know what I mean?
Hey, thank you very much again, Glenn. Good to meet you, Mr.
Yeah.
Eaton. Appreciate you.
Thank you. It was
All
my
right.
pleasure.
All right, man.
Brother.
Be in touch. Peace.
Bye-bye. Peace.